So as I say, flashing low, 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour. Nice. We actually had 4% left in the tank, so I think you would have got, with the added efficiency of local driving, another good 10-15 miles out of that. So make of that what you will, but I don't think anyone really wants to go that close. So this is another road trip video of our 2017 Chevy Bolt EV, actually the final one, but unfortunately this dope here did not turn on the microphone when he started recording, so all of this is rendered useless. However, we're in the car here, ready to go with our Pop Honey, and the sound turned back on after this, so let's get back in the car, and remember to turn it on next time, you muppet. This being a trip in the era, we have wipes. We have Purell somewhere here, and we will wipe down chargers and all the things you're supposed to do. So let's get going. Just under 30 miles to go to Scotia, and 44 miles on the GOM, just a little bit trending up, so we're looking good for this. Made Albany comfortably, no problem at all. 73 miles an hour most of the way. I would point out though, I could kind of use a toilet break right now. We're pretty close, so it's about right, but 2 hours, 2.5 hours pushing it if you've had a coffee. So the Hudson Valley to the left. Scotia here, low flashing, propulsion reduced, and the offer to power down the radio to conserve power, so definitely in the lower part of the battery, you'd say. The point out here as well is the level 2s. Now that makes sense of course because it's a town centre and they want to serve all types, but there are 4 J1772 plugs there that if this does go horribly wrong, Herkimer, I'd have backups. So that is always a plus. I mean, I don't know roughly how much it adds to the cost, but you would think while you're doing this work, it would be worth shoving in a level 2. But that's for another video. So as I say, flashing low, 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour. Nice. We actually had 4% left in the tank, so I think you would have got, with the added efficiency of local driving, another good 10-15 miles out of that. So make of that what you will, but I don't think anyone really wants to go that close. 4% was just about okay for me. But there you go, almost up to 55 kilowatt hours used. and 192.1 miles driven. Comfortable enough not to have any climate settings. That's part of the helpful in the temperature. You can see the end bit here coming off the interstate. Last 5 miles you get much more improved efficiency, so if we did have another 2-3 usable kilowatt hours in the pack, that would be translating to something like 10-15 miles. Not that you would want to get that close. And still, even with these temperatures, you know, it started out in the high 40s today, so we were a bit colder, but still a drag, so there's some room for improvement there. Once we get into the summer months, you're getting a much better range. Able to make it to this place. Always nice to have these as a backup. But I'm gonna get the puppy out. How you doing, honey? Get the puppy out and have a walk, see what we can find. Okay, so we've tapered here. It's just hit 55%. I don't know exactly when it tapered, but I can look at the graph for that. We have more than enough, actually way too much. I stayed way too long. Poppy is tired. She had a good walk. This is Herkimer. It's only 62 miles away. I really didn't need this much of a buffer, but I wanted to do some exploring, so I took longer than some people might. But there's a load of stuff to do here. There's tap rooms, coffee places, nice places to eat. There's playgrounds, which aren't open yet, of course, but you know, there's a lot of stuff here. It's a main street. It's a really good location. Looks like there might be another station going in there, maybe a DC fast charger. We'll definitely be back here if they keep it all online. And if I didn't mention, this is a free complimentary station, so thank you so much, New York and town or village of Scotia. All of these are Chadamo. They actually look to be off. This one's on. You can see they look pretty dated, but all Chadamos. One on the end seems to work, and I think that's in line with the plug share listings I got. But this, the Mohawk Valley Welcome Center, will be a site of Evolve New York's upgraded infrastructure, so I don't know exactly when they will be able to get that in, but this will be a nice stop. It could, I think it might be a stretch too far. It will add some redundancy, certainly, or if Herkimer screws up, you can turn back and come here. It's dated equipment now. This is how quickly things change. Probably 4 or 5 years ago, this was state of the art. Now, I mean, it looks pretty impressive. They're going to catch the attention. What you'll have going in here is at least 450 kilowatt dual head CCS and Chadamo connectors. So just a call out, interesting place, and I'm going to get on the road again. Got this far last time, so that's nothing special. This was where we fell over. Okay, success on the second attempt. It's the 150 kilowatt unit compared to number 2 over there, which is 350 kilowatts, as is this one, but we didn't try it yet. And obviously we leave the Chademo for last. But up to 50 or 49 kilowatts, it was showing 50 before. I'm going to look at the battery because it is starting to get pretty warm now. Battery temperature is at 91.4 degrees Fahrenheit. See how far it is to Waterloo. 106 miles. So I would bet that up to 60% would be enough. Okay, well, not my ideal solution. Sorry if any Leaf owners turn up, seems unlikely given the circumstances, and this is all closed, but this was the only one I could get to stay on. Wasn't that the charge didn't start, more that it wouldn't keep going. These two locations, especially Waterloo and Herkimer, just consistent problems. Got started there, didn't have to call customer service at all. Started on the others at 3%, then 4%. I guess they trickled a bit of juice in before they shot out. But this is going now, and it's at 48 kilowatts. Check in here was from an iPace owner who was reporting only getting 18 kilowatts, so I don't know what was going on with that, but this is where we are. Any session you can get started is one you can walk away from at least. And 362 miles on, just over 100 kilowatt hours used, so we've been going very steadily, 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour since we got out of the Berkshires, so pretty much all across New Yorkshire. So not ideal, but started up. Right, we're going to get a charge, we'll keep going, but this does hamper the whole trying to hop from charger to charger. You know, in terms of charge site rather than individual charge station. You want to just get on, plug in, and get up to your 50-60%. If you add in a few minutes messing around, or you know, potentially more, depending on whether you have to call customer service or not, you start to talk about, you know, an extra 5-10 minutes at every station, and that makes stopping at every one much more cumbersome. You know, not only do you have to get off the highway more often, you have to mess around, you have to do all the stuff it takes to get these things started along this particular route. It's hit the taper point, doesn't want to go much faster than that. We're at 54%, 32 kilowatt hours delivered, 40 minutes, and I'm gonna cool the car down a little bit for me and the pup, because it really is getting up there in temperatures now, and we'll be on our way again off to Buffalo. Not making bad time, but we definitely have lost at least 15 minutes, I would say, maybe 20, even by the Bolt EV's relatively slow standards, just by faffing about on different machines, having to restart sessions, all that business. But here we go. Masks on, wipes out, same old, same old. Okay, well, that is straight up to 47 kilowatts it's settled on, so that was straight away start. Thank you. Finally. Much easier when you can just plug it in, start the app, and off you go. Pennsylvania will be our last charging stop. 100 miles to Ohio, 115 to where we are staying. And I've broken this rule of not waiting past the taper for the last couple of charges, just to get that final bit of extra juice. Pup is doing well. How's it going, Pup? Hi, honey. Okay, so stocked up on coffee. 562 miles in 12 hours. If Erie was our destination, we'd be set, but we do have another 100 miles or so left. But let's get this finished, take some pictures, and get on the road. This was 50 as we pulled off. Average speed 50 miles an hour for the trip until we got off at Erie, so we'll see what that ends up as with another 100 miles at highway speeds. So last update before it gets dark then. 60 miles to Cleveland, 75 to our final destination, so we're in good shape. This is just up by Ashtabula, just skirting the lake now. So we've just passed 600 miles. Only 1% going to climate. Our destination is just on the west side of Cleveland, so that is about 70-75 miles now, and we have a good buffer, like the usual buffer of about 20 miles, so we're in good shape. Trending down a little bit now, but still be in good shape for that. And we're basically gonna make it, we'll be in Cleveland within about 13 and a half hours, and then our final journey should be in about 10 o'clock, just after 10, so about 14 hours. Not bad actually, not bad at all. I think that is kind of what our in-laws have done in the Tesla Model 3, so I'll have to compare notes with them. But next stop, Cleveland. Well, that's disappointing. Missed out on 200 even by 0.2 kilowatt hours. Oh well, 682 miles more or less in the bag. There we are.